How's it going? Galore Wrestling Figures here. Welcome to another video. Today, I'm going to be showing you my CM Punk Defining Moments collection. Now, first thing I want to say is I want to apologise for being a bit inactive on YouTube, social media for the past couple of weeks. I have just been very busy, and to be honest, I haven't really had a day to myself. So I got a day to myself today, so I thought, you know what, why not film a couple of videos and get them uploaded? So this is a video I've wanted to do for a while. I've posted something about this on my Instagram before, and, a few people seemed interested, so I thought, why not do a video on it? So, first things first, if you don't know anything about CM Punk, if you know things about CM Punk, you'll know that this attire, this yellow attire, is CM Punk's probably most famous attire, as well as his Money in the Bank 2011 attire. Now, Mattel did release this attire as an All-Stars Elite back in 2000 and I believe it was 10. And I do have that Elite, and I would like to do some fix-ups with that. However, that is quite a hard Elite to find. So CM Punk, of course, returned to WWE Survivor Series 2023. And last year, Mattel re-released this in the Defining Moments line. So I've managed to pick up a few, and I'm going to be showing you all the fix-ups I've done. I do also have a mock one as well. I thought, no point showing you the mock one, you probably all know what that looks like. So, I suppose, without any further ado, let's get into the figures. So, this line extends, by the way, but I'm going to start off with probably the one I want to get out of the way. It is the Defining Moments Elite. So, this is the one, if you get the figure, this is what it'll come like. Now, I know that the attire, the kick pads, aren't perfect, and the stars are a bit, bit far out. And I know with quality control on the stars, some people do actually have faded stars, but luckily mine are in good condition. But yeah, overall, I'm glad Mattel re-released this, because it's good for parts, but the figure itself is, it's a cool figure. Definitely want to try, well, I think I've got another one coming today, actually, but I know this figure was rare to get at one point, but I always thought it was quite easy to get. But I know that Ringside do actually have them in stock at the moment. I think it works out at about £25 if you're in the UK, which is a bargain price for this. So I definitely want to get another one for, this look without the shirt, because, I think he did wear it without this look when he faced Big Show, obviously without a shirt on. But overall, I do quite like the figure itself. It's a cool figure. So I'm not really going to go in any order, but one, probably my favourite out of all of them at the moment is this one. And all these fix-ups are accurate, by the way, I will add. So now this is based off when he was in the Straight Edge Society. To do this, I've just got a Defining Moments look and added the Vault torso and head. Of course, the Vault Elite was a re-release of the Straight Edge Society Elite. Is that going to focus? Now, overall, this is a cool Elite, and I know that Mattel are actually re-releasing this Elite, the Defining Moments Elite. I think it's in the Vault line, so if you can't get this attire, Mattel are basically making it easy. The only thing I'm not a fan of with this is if you look on the side, if it's going to focus, there's a bit of a gap from when I did the torso crack, but it's not too bad. But overall, it's a cool look, and it's one where if you're going to get any fix-ups of this look, it's probably the attire to get. Now, I'm not sure why it keeps unfocusing. That's one thing I need to pick up on, because it seems to be a thing of always, not focusing. But, alright, I suppose let's get on with the figures. Next up is one. This is a cool one. Now, this is based off late 2013. Now, CM Punk did face with Daniel Bryan. Bryan Danielson faced the Wyatt family, Survivor Series 2013. Yeah, that was it. And he did have that look, the Wolverine look, but also you can use this head sculpt. So I thought, I got this head sculpt mint, which is quite hard to find in mint condition, especially in the UK. I think all CM Punk figures are hard to find mint in the UK, to be honest. So I put that head on, and I thought, you know what? It's an accurate look. I'll go with that. Of course, put the smaller knee pads on. Now, the one thing I will say is that the old CM Punk figures, so before he returned, do have a slightly different skin tone to his new figures. But as a whole, for example, that focuses, it matches quite well. So to be honest, it does the job. And overall, it's a cool look from that time period. We definitely need more Wolverine-style looks. So next one is this is one I want to get out of the way, because you might be asking about this one. So this is accurate, believe it or not, they're all accurate. Now, CM Punk, this is based off the Straight Edge Society. This was, I think, just after CM Punk stopped wearing the mask, and he did get his chest tattoo. Now, believe it or not, so he did have the chest tattoo while he was in the Straight Edge Society. A lot of people forget that. And he did also have the chest tattoo with the Vault Elite look, so the camouflage look. So I still need to do that fix up. But he did also, on this attire when he was wearing this, did have this attire, but he did have the arm sling as well. So this is the, basically, this is pretty much just the defining moments, just with the Vault head on and the sling. The head does sit a bit low because this is made to be with a mask, but as a whole, it's not too bad. You know, it's not the end of the world. I do want to do another one of these with a shirt on, because I think at the start of the show, when this is based off, he did have a shirt. Later on in the night, he took the shirt off, which is, this is what is based off. And get my words out my mouth. So overall, is it going to focus? Overall, you know, this head scan, I really wish Mattel would release an Ultimate Edition of the Straight Edge Society look. You know, who knows, probably will do. But yeah, I do quite like this one. Definitely one of the underrated looks. Now, there is as well a couple of tyres that I still do need to make, but they're more sort of on the pricey side. That's the only reason why I haven't done them. And usually I like to sort of try getting the cheap / easy fix-ups over with, then go on to the harder fix-ups. So next up, we have, I'm going to show you this one, the United Champions 2011 look when he faced Triple H. Custom shirt as always from Elite Threads. Shout out to them, you know. I think I must have given that guy a lot of money over the past couple of years just on custom shirts, but he never disappoints, you know. He always makes good shirts. The only shirt though he can't make is CM Punk's grey Best in the World shirt from 2012. That's one shirt where I need about 10 of, probably more than that, and it's the only shirt he can't do. And he did actually wear that shirt with this look, so I'll have to get one from somewhere. But this is, of course, from Elite Threads. And I do like the big elbow pads compared to the small elbow pad that we get on the Defining Moments Elite. Of course, put smaller knee pads on. But yeah, the shirt, of course, is the ice cream bar shirt. And I did put this Ultimate head on. I really like this head scan, and I wish that Mattel would have just put this on when they re-released this figure. But yeah, I do quite like that. It's you know, it's a simple one, but you know, it's a cool one. I do quite like that look. And that's one where, you know, you can probably do it yourself. You literally have to have a shirt to it. Now this one, this is one where I got this Elite off, where was it? I think it was eBay. I think it was earlier in the year. I was on holiday, and in the space of the 2 days, this is when the Defining Moments was quite hard to get. I managed to get that and this one both off eBay for like, I think it was £20 each, which was a good price. And of course it didn't have the shirts with them, but the body itself, that's all really what I wanted for this fix-up. So this is based off, when was this based? This was of course based off the Nexus days. And believe it or not, so the head scan on this, the Defining Moments, is sort of more black hair compared to the Elite 113, where it's more brown hair. I do like the more black hair, to be honest. This is accurate, of course. I can't remember the exact date this was on. I think it was a Raw. So I put the lower, I think I pretty much all of them, I put the lower knee pads on, the smaller ones. And, you know, it's just a Nexus shirt, microphone. But as long as it's accurate, it does the job. You know, that's the one thing. My CM Punk figures, my 2 rules is having them all in mint condition and having them accurate. And to be honest, it's simple. You know, if you have the Elite 13 in Defining Moments, you can do this yourself. One of the easiest fix-ups you'll ever do. Legs are a bit loose, but to be honest, it's on display, so it's not too bad. So, I've got 4 more I want to show you. So, I'm just going to move them over here really quickly. Alright, so obviously in no order. The one I want to show you is, I'm going to show you this one just for the sake of it. So of course this is based off his younger WWE days. I want to say SummerSlam, what was it? I think SummerSlam 2010 he faced Mark Henry, who's part of the Straight Edge Society. Was it 2009 or 8 he faced Jeff Hardy at SummerSlam? Honestly, my memory is terrible. I think it was 2009, was he faced? I honestly can't remember, but whenever he faced Jeff Hardy at SummerSlam, I can't remember off the top of my head. Now, this is the 150 head scan. To be honest, this head scan gets a lot of hate, but I quite like it. It does the job looking like CM Punk with his long hair. easy to get mint condition. So I think in total I've picked up about 20 of them basics now. Apologies for the interruption. That was just the postman who, believe it or not, did actually just deliver a CM Punk figure. This Supreme. I saw it for an amazing price online, so I thought I had to get that. That's going off topic. So this figure, it says, I think it's actually my most recent Defining Moments fix-up, but overall, you know, it's an easy fix-up to do. I believe that was a Cody Rhodes Greatest Hits. Is it the greatest? Yeah, the Cody Rhodes Greatest Hits, the one from Dashing Cody Rhodes. Torso on that, basic 150 head scan, and you've got a nice young CM Punk there. So the next three, these are probably three of my best fix-ups, to be honest, in terms of just CM Punk fix-ups I've done. But in no particular order, we have got this, which is his Survivor Series 2013 look with the entrance attire. Now, this is similar to that other one that I showed earlier, except the head sculpt is the basic 150. That's the 154 I meant to say. But yeah, it's the basic 150 head sculpt. And I would love to do a load more customs with the All-Stars Elite, the original one, but that Elite is just hard to find. But there's something about using single jointed arms, because don't get me wrong, I like double jointed arms, but there's just something about just using single jointed CM Punk arms. I prefer using them, to be honest. But overall, I do like this fix-up. You know, it's an easy fix-up to do. All you need is an extra head scan and that shirt. Put on, and as well, whenever I do CM Punk customs or fix-ups, I always make sure to have the wrist tape accurate, so it was black crosses. But overall, it's easy fix-up, and it's one I do really like. It's underrated, that head scan as well. I wish we'd get, as I say, I wish we'd get more attires in that. So, following that, I think he actually wore this probably a few weeks after or before. Legs are a little bit loose, but all I had to do was a lower leg swap on this for black kick pads. Of course, there's the black kick pads if it focuses, and the lower legs as well. But overall, it's a cool figure. You know, it's easy to do, but obviously the yellow looks great. Yellow trunks, yellow kick pads, it looks great. You know, when Punk wore it at WrestleMania 41, I'm not going to lie, I popped. You know, it's a cool attire. But there's just something about it with black kick pads. I don't know. Obviously, CM Punk did wear a lot of his attires, you know, multiple times with black kick pads, but there's just something about this attire with the yellow and black mixing well. I do quite like it, but overall, you know, it's underrated when trying to think. CM Punk wore his, you know, his Money in the Bank 2011 gear a couple of times with black kick pads. He wore quite a few of his attires with, you know, just plain kick pads, and overall, you know, it's an underrated look. But there's that. It's a cool looking fix-up, to be honest. It's one of my favourite ones. Now, last but not least, certainly not least, I can't speak, certainly not last in terms of, what was I actually saying then? I don't even know what I was trying to attempt to say, but certainly not, this isn't going to be the last Defining Moments fix-up, because I'm, you know, probably in the coming days I might order some off Ringside. I know that the Defining Moments, you know, there is a few people stocking it in the UK, but the price isn't right, whereas Ringside, the price is perfect, but it's just the postage. But yeah, this is the final one now. This is accurate. This is, I think, when he teamed with Dolph Ziggler, Raw 2012. I think it was, yeah, late 2012. And when I mentioned earlier about the head scan, well, CM Punk's old figures, the head scans, the full bodies really were slightly different skin tone. And on this figure, this is obviously a newer body, you can notice it a bit different. The head scan is a bit pale, but overall, it's not too bad. I put on the spinner belt because this is accurate. This is one that came with the Champion Series Basic, or the Bret Hart inspired attire 2-pack with Randy Orton. If that focuses. Now, the only thing with this is it does spin. However, on display, no one has to know. But yeah, overall, I do quite like this one. The belt ain't going to sit properly now, is it? That'll do. Overall, I do quite like this one, and yeah, it's a cool fix-up. It's definitely, you know, one where if you can do it, I would recommend it, because there's something about that sort of look CM Punk had back in late 2012. Underrated look, you know. I'd really like to get his Night of Champions 2012 look as an Elite or Ultimate Edition with the entrance attire. That would be perfect. But for now, it's an amazing Elite. I'm not going to lie to you, folks. But yeah, that does it for this video. Once again, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all the usual stuff, because there will be some more regular uploads coming eventually. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.